Okay, so welcome back. As I said, I've got my bike up on the stand. It's super stable. I didn't really show you, but like this is really stable. I'm loving the bike being up on the stand, and it's going to make cleaning the chain so much easier. I have been saving cardboard, so what I did was I just slid some cardboard underneath this because this is going to get a little messy, so I just want to make sure that I can keep it fairly clean. So I just slid that in. Actually just magically fits right between those, so got lucky there with that piece of cardboard. And then I've got some just to, like, you know, put my knees on. And then what I'm going to do too, as I get into actually cleaning this, probably just going to slide a bit in there because I'm going to be spraying, and I want to keep it as clean as I can as I go through this. So I've got my cleaner here. I'm going to start with the cleaner, and I'm going to brush. So I'm going to go through this chain the first time just spraying it down with cleaner, and then once I get back to the spots that I've already hit with cleaner, that's when I'm going to start to brush it off. Sometimes it's hard to be your own camera person, but essentially, right, I'm just coming through and I'm going to be spraying this, but I'm actually going to use both hands, and I'm going to not just rotate it and do this, right? So I just wanted to show you what I'm doing, and that's why I put this behind here. I just want to keep things as clean as I can as I'm spraying this down. So I'm going to use this cleaner and just go through the whole chain first, and then I'll give it a scrub. So now that's all done, I'm ready to get this on there. And once I got it fit on there, I'm just going to give it a go, and I'll just keep scraping that and get it as clean as possible. You can either just, you know, use this and go like this, or you can hold it in place, right, and rotate the wheel, which is probably what I'm going to do. So I won't force you to watch that. I'll just get that part done. So what have I done so far? I sprayed a bunch of cleaner on, and now I'm going to scrub it down. All right, so the chain is clean. The next step for me is to, I've got two choices that I've seen based on what people typically do. I can either dry this off and then apply the lube, or I can rinse this off with water and make sure it's dry and then apply the lube. Most important thing is that in order for the lube to do its job, this chain, clean, yay, has to be dry. So I'm actually gonna go, since I have the hose out, I'm just gonna go ahead and spray it down. That'll also let me clean up anything that I've got sprayed somewhere else. Probably gonna get a little bit messy when I do the lube anyway, but obviously I'm not gonna spray this down after I lube it. Once it's lubed, I've gotta keep it dry, let that dry because it's liquid. Then it will solidify a little bit to do its job. But I am gonna actually remove all the cardboard now, go grab my hose. I'm just gonna rotate this around and get it nice and rinsed off, and then I'll let it sit and dry for a while, and then later I'll come back and I'll put the lube on. Hey everybody. So, went through, I have now cleaned it. So if you'll recall, first I just took the cleaner and I sprayed down the chain, and I kept rotating it with the rear wheel. Just kept rotating it, spraying it down, get it nice and clean. Once it was nice and clean, then I took the scrub, and I took that scrub brush and I just cleaned it very thoroughly. I scrubbed it down, got it nice and clean. You can see this is just really nice and clean now. And then I took my hose, since I had it out already, and I hosed this down. Just make sure I get all that cleanser off. You know, you want it to be dry when you put the lube on. So for me, I want it to be dry, I want it to be clean. I've got it as clean as I possibly can, really, between the cleanser and scrubbing it down. And now I'm just gonna wait for it to dry. Once it's good and dry, I'm gonna come back through and I'm gonna spray it down with the lube. But the chain looks nice and clean, so I'm making good progress here. And do you have to put it up on a stand like this? No, right? You know, you can drag it around the yard and just do bits of the chain at a time. It's not super long, right? So I mean, you certainly don't have to, but this is a lot easier, and you'll be able to do more maintenance too once you've got a bike stand. So again, this is my first time using this Venom stand. Again, link in the description to which one I got. Okay, it's nice and dry now, so the last step is to apply my chain wax. Okay, so what am I gonna do? Well, I am going to shake the can because it wants me to do that. It says to shake it well. We'll do that. I'm going to put some on the top because I want to make sure that the top is good. And once I'm done going around on the top, I'm going to come through the side. I'll come back over to this side, and then what I'll do is I'll spray here and I'll rotate it so I can get the bottom. So I want to do the top, so I'm going to do the top over here. I'm going to come back through and I'm going to do the bottom. And then I'll try to do this side, and I'll try to come in here a little bit and get the other side as well. That should be more than plenty, and then it just needs to sit and dry. Once it's done drying, it's ready to ride. I will probably leave it up on this stand for a little while it dries, because I don't want dripping. I'll remove the cardboard, essentially, and then I'll bring the bike down. And as I said before, my big sticky note somewhere is don't bring it down until it's in first gear. So, all right, I'm gonna do the spray. Okay, everybody, I am done. I'm just waiting for it to dry now, and then once it's dry, I'll show you, or maybe I'll just have to explain, since it's just me as the camera person, taking the bike down off of the stand. So again, rotating the chain here, just having it up on a stand makes it so much easier. For me, it's about 10 or 12 rotations to get from my one that looks like this back to the one that looks like this. I know you can just look at the chain and try to see like if you've lubed that part or not. I just used that chain link every time as my starting point, and then I knew when I got back to that one, that it's the only one that looks like that. I knew that once I got back to that one, I was good. And so I did the left side, I did the right side, I did the top, I did the bottom, and I'm pretty good. So now I'm just gonna let it sit for a while. I'll go in and maybe cool off, and then I'll come back and I'll be ready to take the bike down off of the stand. Again, big things about that is just making sure that you don't drop the bike or anything. It's pretty easy to get up. I'm sure it's gonna be pretty easy to get down, as long as I have it in first gear. Okay, everybody, it is the big reveal. Look, my bike is extremely clean now. It's no longer covered in sap. I power washed this with just a hose, took some hot water and Fabuloso, went over it a little bit, rinsed it off, nice and clean. Still have it up on the bike stand, but bike chain is cleaned, degreased, scrubbed, dried, and then lubed. And now I'm ready for the final thing, which is to get this off of the stand. So, first thing I need to do, make sure that I am in first gear. There we go. All right, now I'm not worried. I'm gonna stand on this side of the bike. I've got it nice and upright. I'm gonna stand on this side of the bike, and I'm gonna make sure that as it comes down, as I grab this thing, and I bring it back down, right? So I'm just gonna lift this up, but I'm gonna stand on this side of the bike so that if it comes towards me, I can stop it from falling over and get back up on the stand. So what else do I need to check? Bike stand. Good, bike stand is down. Am I ready? Yes, I am ready. I've got the bike in first gear. It's not gonna roll away from me down the driveway. I've got the bike stand down. So you're gonna miss the fun part because I don't have enough hands. All right, back to normal position. I'm going to put the bike cover on ASAP because I've got this beautifully cleaned, ready to ride tomorrow. I should probably still let it sit for a while so that lube can dry more, but I'll be ready to ride this next time I go out. And it was a really simple job, right? You saw me do the spools. It's just a couple bolts, right? The bike stand, it was my first time putting the bike on the stand. It's pretty straightforward. You get it situated right, and then just stand on the right side. Make sure that obviously it's not going to roll away from you or anything. Get it up. You just push that handle down, it lifts the bike up. And then to take it down, again, pretty straightforward. I just lifted that handle up, and the bike came down. Easy one person job. One person can't do it while holding a camera. so I couldn't show you actually doing those parts. But trust me, it's pretty easy. Again, the Svartpilen is nice because you got this handle here, so there's plenty to grab onto to make sure that you're stable. And the spools are fine, right? Because I've got the right size bolts and everything, I don't have to worry. I can just leave these spools on, and anytime I'm ready to clean the chain again, in 300 to 600 miles, I'll go ahead and clean her on up. It's a really simple job. I mean, I took my time today, but you can do this super fast. And again, don't worry about, if you want to get a bike stand and spools and everything, you can do that for under $100. I'll put some links. You don't have to get the products that I got for the Svartpilen 401. I would certainly recommend doing, if you're going to do spools, just follow what I did for the spools with the bolts. But otherwise, bike stands are bike stands. Get something that works with spools and you'll be set. But again, I'll put the links to all those things because for me, the hardest thing was just figuring out like what's going to be the right bolts to use for the spools. I'm all set now. So now, gosh, I can do any number of other maintenance things are going to be a lot easier at this point. So thanks for coming along today for the various parts of this. I'm going to post in multiple videos. But thank you very much. Hope you have a good one and happy riding.